Okay, so I am at the Arrow Pool of Alvechurch, which is a beautiful complex, which I do fish quite a lot. Today is very, very cold. It's only 5 degrees water temperature. They measured it this morning, Mark. So what I've done is I've come to Arrow Pool, okay, and we're going to target eyed. Now these are beautiful fish, and we should, and I'm convinced we'll get some bites off these, just fishing maggots. So this is into the session, and fair play, just lifting and dropping, feeding maggots. It was really good. It took a while to get going, we're not denying that, and obviously we're the only people on the lake, so obviously that helps as well, just draw more fish in. So for me, this is a brilliant tactic to catch eyed, and on a lake like this as well, especially I am more of a match fisherman, as you may know, and obviously these fish, in my opinion, this time of year, definitely cannot be ignored. They really can't. And the video will give you some tips. So if you want to skip this little bit of me catching a few fish and stuff, then if you go to 5 minutes and 22 seconds, then I'll go through some tips which will hopefully help you.
fishing for eyed this time of year, you definitely want to fish light. So when using a 1mm hybrid cool elastic, so the new stuff from Maver, and then we're fishing 011 mainline, 09 hook length, and we're fishing a nice light float, a 4x10. Okay, quite a thick bristle, but dotting it right down so we can see it, because obviously winter time the light can be very difficult, and today's no exception. It is quite difficult to see it. Just fishing a size 22 Guru F1 pellet hook, nice and light. That's what you want, and then just literally just fishing a single maggot. Cool. Okay, so for this type of fishing, a catapult is far superior to a toss pot, because it won't concentrate the feed, such a tight area, and also you want to be constantly feeding. And also, when you feed with a catapult, it's going to spread it over a wider area. Also, using a long lash, because the water really is very clear, and also we're looking to catch up in the water. We're not looking to catch on the deck. I know that might sound like, how on earth's that going to happen? The fish are never going to feel confident enough to feed in such clear water, but I've caught a few fish today, literally 18 inches deep. So you definitely want a long lash, because if you've got a short lash, like the traditional sort of like say 10 inch, I promise you the shadow of your pole is going to undoubtedly spook them. As you can see, they are greedy. I don't want to hurt it, so you can see it's full of maggots. So that's what I'm saying, even though it's freezing, these guys want feeding. Okay, so the old saying goes, little and often, and I can't stress the importance of actually doing that. So like lifting and dropping constantly is a way to go. Like the start off of the session, there was a few fish topping on the lake. Obviously we're the only people on the lake, and then you go, like some of the bites are really savage there, but you know, they're not difficult fish to catch at times. But I can't stress, like literally just want a couple of pints of maggots, small hooks, light lines, light elastic, and you shouldn't go wrong really. Just like lifting and dropping. It's definitely not a lazy man's game catching eyed, especially this time of year.
So ship back nice and slowly. This kit's actually got me with the 1.2 Maver hybrid elastic, which to be honest with you was, for this type of fishing, was a tiny bit too heavy this time of year. So it did change down to the white, and the white was loads better. Just really good fishing, to be honest. I can't, just single maggot, nothing fancy. And just like I say, just lifting and dropping constantly and feeding. So, you know, on a cold winter's day, like today, real nice to just get some bites. So the long lash definitely helps. You can flick the rig around. You don't get me wrong, you miss a few more bites, but with a long lash, you get a lot more bites. So you've got to weigh it up. So, you know, I'd sooner get bites and miss a few and work off something rather than getting very few bites or any bites. Also, fishing this way, if you're fishing like silver matches, because they have run a few here in the past, fishing like shallow and through the water and that, I end up one carp, you know, so you definitely do eliminate and avoid the many carp that's in this lake.
So in conclusion, I've had a nice day. It's quite tough to begin with, but one thing that was definitely really imperative was to obviously change depth, so chase them up and down and through the water. And also, this type of fishing, you definitely wanted to be off the deck to catch these eyed. So remember, this video is about catching eyed. So basically, the peg was about 4 and a bit foot deep, just over 4 foot deep. So basically, anywhere from sort of like just over 3 foot to 18 inches was better to catch these fish. All right. You want to leave a toss pot alone for this type of fishing, because I feel if you would have fished, say, 4.5 foot deep on the deck, tapped in a few maggots like you traditionally would for winter fishing, then to catch these kind of fish, I think you really would have struggled for bites. So it's all about trying to get them to compete, and to be honest with you, the pegs just got better and better. Sometimes they would back away, so you'd have to flick the rig a bit further to catch them, left and right. So sort of like traditionally sort of like targeting roach like I used to do years ago squat fishing. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. I'll catch you soon. I've had a lovely day, as you can see. So applying these tactics, especially on this lake, I can almost guarantee you'll catch bags of hide like this, or maybe even more.